No.
No.
All right. So when we left off on Friday, we had just talked about determining the oxidation number for different elements based on the periodic table. Based on, so what do we base the oxidation number on? Like, what are we looking at to come up with that? Say. Yeah, what do we call them?
The valence.
Yeah, valence electrons. The electrons in the outer shell. We write the oxidation number based on how many electrons it's missing to get to 8, or how many extra electrons that it has that it would like to get rid of so that it has a full outer shell. So the reason that we're talking about this, one reason is that the oxidation numbers can tell us how different elements form compounds and what their formula is. So let's take water as our example. Okay? Hydrogen, in its valence level, has 1 electron. Okay? And so its oxidation number is +1. Okay? So hydrogen's +1. Oxygen has 6 electrons in its outermost level. So what's its oxidation number? Got it? -2. It's missing 2 to get up to 8, the number it wants. And again, if we add up all of those numbers, what do we get? 0. So we can use this method called the crisscross method to show us the formula when 2 metals form a compound. So what we do is we write above the symbol the oxidation number. So hydrogen is +1, oxygen is -2. Then we sort of crisscross the oxidation numbers, and we forget about the sign. So this 1 is going to go over here with oxygen. This 2 is going to go over here with hydrogen. And what do we get? H2O1. But in chemistry, if there's a 1, we just don't write it. And therefore we have H2O. That's why water has that formula. 2 hydrogens combined with 1 oxygen, and then they're all happy.
But it's still be negative.
We ignore the oxidation number, or the sign of the oxidation number. So this 1 goes after the oxygen, this 2 goes after the hydrogen. We'll look at some more examples. So you'll need your periodic table. So sodium and phosphorus. So these compounds we're talking about are metal, non-metal compounds. Like we said earlier in our unit, metals typically will combine with non-metals. So sodium and phosphorus. Sodium is Na, phosphorus is P. Has anyone found sodium?
Yes. Yes.
All right, Jake. How many valence electrons does sodium have, Jake?
1.
It has 1. So what's its oxidation number? +1. It has 1 extra that it would like to get rid of. Has anybody found phosphorus? Yeah. Sophia, how many electrons in the outermost level? 5. What's that give it for an oxidation number? -3. Because it's missing 3 in it. We do our little crisscross thing. Okay? The 3 comes down with the sodium, the 1 goes over with the phosphorus, and we have our formula. When sodium and phosphorus form a compound, the formula is Na3P.
What is 3P?
Sodium phosphide. Ooh, shoot. You didn't see that. Calcium. Calcium. Ca. What's its oxidation number? +2. Sulfur. How many electrons outer shell, Devin? 6. Therefore it is -2. So when they combine, what is the formula going to be? Ca2S2. And we can simplify. If they're like a fraction, if they're both 2, we can simplify to CAS. Because it's just a ratio. Not necessarily. Let's do a couple more. You guys go ahead and do these on your own. And if you have a question, raise your hand. I can come around and help you individually. Yeah, those don't worry. Those are the middle shells. Don't worry about those. We're only going to be concerned with the outer. Anybody need help individually? Yeah, it takes a little while sometimes to find it. But we understand how to do it. But if it didn't have those 2 outer ones, we have 8 metal. Right. Yep. All right, let's look at these, see if we got it right. Beryllium and fluorine. What's beryllium's oxidation number, Wyatt? +2. About fluorine? Olivia? -1. Giving us a final chemical formula of what, Mitchell? BeF2, correct. You okay? Magnesium and oxygen. Mg and O. O. What? So I guess I gave 2. Anyway, what do we get for our final formula on Faith? Yeah, we get just MgO if we simplify. We can get Mg2O2. Barium, not beryllium, barium. It's another element. And chlorine, Olympia. Barium, oxidation number? And chlorine? Not +1? -1? Formula? BaCl2. All right. Now, one last thing we'll talk about today is there are a special group of atoms that kind of act together like one single element. We call them radicals. And I'm going to give you a list of them here. You'll have this list on quiz because you need to refer to it because these groups of atoms have their own oxidation number. And you just look it up in the list. So,
But they're not on
They're not on the periodic table because they're a group of elements. They're not a single element. They're a group of elements that are kind of acting like a single element. I'll show you an example. All right, so here in my example, I have Ni, and then I have in parentheses PO4. That's a radical. So I do this problem the same way I did the previous ones. There's just a little different. So nickel. How am I going to know its oxidation number? Looking at our periodic table. Nickel's an element.
Number 10. Plus 2.
What is it, Jake?
Plus 2.
Plus 2? What about now this thing in parentheses? PO4. What am I going to do with that?
I know. Oxidation.
Yeah, where is it? I'm just going to look at my radical chart. You see PO4? What is it called? Phosphate. And its oxidation number is? -3. We just looked that up in our chart. And now I do the same thing. I crisscross them. So the 3 comes down here with the nickel. The 2 goes after the parentheses. And that's my compound. Ni3PO42. Why don't you guys do this one? You just gotta look on the chart. So go ahead and do this one on the right. And H4 and CO3. Yep, you'll have a periodic table and a list of radicals on your quiz. So third. So go ahead and write H4 in parentheses. Just like we did with the elements, write its oxidation number. All right, this one's not very exciting, but what about this NH4? The radical. So I have to look it up in my radical chart I just gave you. What's its oxidation number? +1. How about this? What is this?
Same thing.
Yeah, it's carbonate. Where do I find it? Also in the radical chart. What's its oxidation number? -2. CO3. Next up. Crisscross them, and what should I get for my last answer, Layla?
NH4 to CO3.
Correct. So the 2 goes after the NH4. CO3 is just 1. Any questions? Olivia? All right. Okay, that's it for today. Hey, do you guys notice? Audio quality is going to be through the roof.
Can I do ASMR?
No.
No.
Can I?
No. This is not going to